Round of ammunition is forged, quality checked, boxed and delivered to the battlefield. It is loaded into the magazine and the final shot is killed. The man in the suit was called Yuri. More than 10 years ago, he was a waiter in a restaurant. Today he is the world's largest arms dealer. They call him the King of War. Without him, many countries would not be able to fight a decent war, because 8 of the 10 largest war zones in the world use his weapons. Where there was war, he was there. Back then, Yuri was working in his family's restaurant. As a young man, he was depressed. Until this day, he witnessed a gunfight. Looking at the 2 men on the ground, Yuri's eyes fell on the bullet casings. Looking at the shell casings in front of him, he seemed to smell a business opportunity. In an age when war is as frequent as food, arms are as necessary as food. They were a necessity. And that's when Yuri started his career as an arms dealer. The first time he sold guns, Yuri was very nervous. He recites the manual of a gun. As soon as the customer walked in the door, he starts showing them off.
Uzi machine pistol. Big firepower in a small package. This little baby uses 9mm Hall points, % improved noise suppression. You can pump a mag into me right now. Never work the gun in the next room. Of course, that would eliminate your opportunity for repeat business.
Having had a taste for it, Yuri, not content with this small-scale business, to expand his customer base, Yuri attends a weapons fair. Here he meets Wyeth, one of the biggest names in arms, but Wyeth doesn't like him.
I don't think you and I are in the same business.
Soon the business takes a turn for the better. In 1984, the US troops withdraw from Lebanon. Usually they don't take their weapons with them, because the cost of shipping was more than buying new ones. So the used guns left behind were piled up on the floor like scrap metal. They were sold by the kilo.
We sell by the kilo.
They're second-hand weapons, but they're still okay.
How many kilos would you like?
5,000.
Yuri took over the used gun trade. He bribed the officials while selling the guns to the locals. Just as he was reveling in his money, suddenly a few shots rang out, almost sent him to God. It was the guns he had just sold that killed the children. But Yuri didn't care about that. All he cares about is how much money he's making. Yuri had passports from 6 countries at once. He sold guns all over the world. He didn't care what they bought them for. He never asked who they were at war with. He sold them to whoever offered the best price. He doesn't care about morality. He just deals. He sells to peacemakers. He sells to terrorists too. He even sells weapons to both sides of the war. Wherever there is war, wherever there was war, there he was. That's why he was known to many as the Merchant of Death. It's a dangerous business to be in. Yuri's car was rigged with bombs. He also had a variety of weapons held to his head. Fortunately, he managed to survive and make a fortune every time. In 1991, taking advantage of the collapse of the Soviet Union, Yuri bribed officials to acquire a large quantity of Soviet weapons. This time it wasn't just guns and ammunition, but also tanks, armor and helicopters.